because women have the babies, you're emotional, but more important, I have a dad. I have a dad who is very strong. And when I see what President Trump is embodying, I say, and I know that you can roll your eyes, but you know what my grandmother used to say, you can roll your cotton balls, but you sure can't shoot them. So
it's today, and today we're reacting to one liberal man versus 20 MAGA women on the Jubilee channel. Okay, I already made 2 videos, and y'all really like those videos, so we're gonna be making some more. And if you haven't noticed, we're on a new channel. Oh my gosh, yeah. So I decided to switch up my channel. So this one's gonna be straight reactions. The one that you were originally on, that one's gonna be for vlogging and more of like in-person stuff, so I can talk to y'all. And then I made a gaming channel as well, just so I can keep everything categorized and neat and clean, because that channel that I had it on, it was just a whole bunch of random videos that was kind of making a mixed audience, so a lot of people weren't getting what they want. So now I have channels for everything. Okay.
It's strong alpha males like Donald J. Trump, Spencer Pratt, and our loved Charlie Kirk.
Did you just ironically say strong alpha males?
We have laws in favor of women getting leadership roles. We're taking opportunities away from men. You are oppressed more than me.
Men are men, and men have testosterone, and men love beautiful women. And trust me, I would prefer a man that actually looks at women and is sexually attracted to women.
Dude.
They had to make things up to get Trump. Trump doesn't have to be a sexual predator. Any woman would love to be with Trump.
All right, listen, put your hand up if you would have sex with Donald Trump.
USA! 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 That's so bad.
Has Donald Trump been a good president for women, or has America moved backward from expanding women's rights to debating how far those rights should go? I'm John Regalado, and from Jubilee Media, this is Surrounded, where one brave soul faces a room full of disagreements.
I'm not ready, bro.
Today,
I'm not ready.
We are diving into what feminism means on both sides of the aisle, abortion rights, and President Trump's record. I'm here with our featured guest, progressive commentator, Dean Withers. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You ready to go?
Oh, I'm excited. This will be fun.
All right, are you all ready to debate Dean? Yeah! All right, let's get into it.
I'm Dean Withers. I'm a 21-year-old liberal. I do political debate for a living, and today I'm surrounded by 20 Trump supporters again. But this time, they're all women.
You would think that more women would be like
my first surrounded claim
Democrat
is,
or like
men
liberal.
aren't better at leading than women.
If you would like to debate this claim, please get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Good to see you again.
Welcome back, Lori. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing phenomenal. So the first claim is that men are not better at leading than women. And I'm honestly that you as a woman would disagree. But I mean, if you want to start it off by telling us why you do think men are better at leading than women, the mic is all yours.
Well, how I would like to start this off is I'd like you to define what a woman is.
Well, sure. I think that the definition of what a woman is ultimately irrelevant to this debate, and I'm willing to assume... I'm willing.
Men aren't better at leading than women. Define what a woman is. She's trying to trap him. Because then if they get into the conversation of like, trans people, then she's going to be like, okay, then how, I feel like that's a trap. Like right there, she's trying to set a trap.
Willing to pre-assume your definition of what a woman is, i.e. an adult human female. See, if I were to give you my definition of what a woman is, an adult human individual that pertains to the social and cultural characteristics.
See why y'all like these videos so much. I get so like, so I'm gonna I'm sorry, I might pause a lot in this video, but I promise you I'm gonna talk as much as I can. And what I was gonna say was that with this, a lot of these like arguments and debates is just gonna be them pushing off the conversation onto him. So it's gonna be like, oh, I don't know why, like he's gonna be like, okay, why do you think Trump is bad? And like, okay, why do you think Trump is bad? Like they're gonna push it off to him. And I'm not ready for that. Like it's gonna make you so mad.
It's typical that of a female sex indexed to their gender identity. Well, then all of a sudden we're going to be speaking past one another because we define the word woman differently.
Exactly.
So I'm more than happy to pre-assume your definition.
In the first place is kind of silly because you don't know what a woman is.
Well, I just told you what the definition of the word woman is. You just simply overlooked it.
I think it would also depend on what leadership role that person would take. For instance, if you wanted Kamala Harris, who you voted for, to be the president of the United States, we have a problem with that, and I'll tell you why. It's not necessarily the woman, but it is necessarily foreign countries, for instance, the Middle East. If I go to a Middle East country,
my gosh. Why would you care? What she's trying to say is that like different countries wouldn't respect another country because they have a woman as a leadership role. And to some extent, that is true. Like, there are going to be other countries that are going to like shame United States for having a woman as a leader, but we shouldn't care. Like, we should not care. We are a land of opportunity. We are United States. We are a good powerhouse. It's not like it's going to break like all bonds between different countries just because we have a woman leader. Like,
as a woman, I can't show my hair at risk of being stoned.
Why are we talking about Middle Eastern countries when the prompt is men are not better at leading than women?
Because you're asking about leading. You voted for Kamala Harris. I think she would have been a horrible leader. Foreign countries don't always see women as respectful as they see a man. A woman leading this country, for instance, when you go to doing foreign policy and all of those things, they would not have the respect that a man would. I can also say as a woman, depending on your age, if I've got PMS, honey, I'm going to make different decisions than I would as if I didn't. If I'm going through menopause, I might have hot flashes or whatever else. I believe as a Christian woman, men are supposed to lead. Mm-hmm. We're supposed to help. And I'm totally comfortable with that.
Okay. Well, thank you, Lori. So the first thing that I'd point out here is that your position that maybe foreign countries.
bro, I'm sorry, but like, it's one of those things where you watch a horror movie and you're like, yeah, this is gonna happen. That's how I feel. Like, it's just predictable. He's gonna talk. There's gonna be a little point that he says that's right, and I'm gonna go like this when that happens, and then after that happens, she's gonna interrupt him and like change the subject. Oh my God, I'm ready.
Just want to respect a female president as much as a male president. I don't think is represented through the fact that on the global stage, Harris had a significantly higher approval rating than Trump during the election, and there's a reason for that.
Because she would have been a pushover. They would have walked right over her.
And that's exactly why she had significantly better policy, better character, would have been a better president for America.
Not at all.
But ultimately, once again, Lori,
failure.
The topic of debate is not was Harris a better option for the president than Trump, because even if we want to look at women and men on this macroscopic level of evaluating one woman compared to one man, even if it was true, Harris was a...
I'm sorry, again, but he needs to dumb some of this stuff down. Like, some people aren't following what he's saying. If he dumbed things down and kind of like said it, how do I say it? How do I say this? You're trying to talk to a fifth grader. Like, dumb it down just a little bit. Because obviously, I'm guessing you can track what he's saying. I can track what he's saying, but they might not be able to track what he's saying. Like, I want you to listen to what he's saying and then see what they say after. They're only nitpicking things that he's saying and trying to like bring it into an argument. Like, they're trying to bring a debate out of a few things that he's saying and then throw it at him to see if it throws him off. And I'm trying not to stop again, but I want y'all to like at least try to watch that.
Clown and Trump was awesome. That still wouldn't mean that generally speaking, men are better at leading than women. The last point that you made there was about PMS, and I think that you're like indicating that women are more emotional than men on average.
They are. 100%.
Then tell me why men commit 92% of violent crimes. Tell me why they're more likely to self-unalive, commit suicide. So you think that testosterone is what makes men more emotional?
Absolutely.
Okay, well then you just conceded the debate.
No, I didn't concede.
You just said that absolutely men are more emotional than men 5 seconds after saying that women were more emotional than men.
And that's kind of like somewhat of a red herring, because what I'm trying to say to you, women are more emotional. They just are, in more of a... I can change my mind depending on my mood. Now, you're bringing in anger. You're bringing in violence. You're bringing in...
Is anger an emotion?
It is, but to a different extent. And honestly, if you've got a man that's violent, out of character alone, I don't want him leading the country.
Yeah, that's why you voted for...
Oh, yeah. You want to get into that? I know that's another prompt, but I'm happy to get into that.
I guess we could get into that on the front.
Never accused of...
Okay, we got to pause there. You've been voted out. Please return to your seat.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, Lori.
If you would like to be the next debater, please get to the chair. In 3, 2, 1.
Oh my gosh. An ad, bro. I see why y'all like to watch me react to this, bro. Like, I can't... It just gets me. Unfortunately, I can't do that. I can't debate like that. Like, I'd be too, not like heated, but I'd be too like emotional on the fact of how can you not understand like everything that's going on? Like, are you stuck on Fox News that bad and Facebook that bad to not be able to see like how bad You know? Oh my gosh. Ah!
Welcome, welcome. I'm going to give the mic to you. Why don't you tell us all why men are better at leading than women?
Men are better at leading because, as a woman, I can tell you that we're emotionally manipulated very easy. We tend to be compassionate because we, as a woman, and getting pregnant, it's inherent in us. Why? Because we deal with babies.
So women deal with babies, therefore women can be manipulated. I don't think that that argument follows. But once
We
again,
can be easily manipulated
women can be easily manipulated.
and convinced. Yeah,
What's the argument for that?
it's inherent in us.
Okay, just saying that it's inherent is like me saying that what is actually inherent of women is that they can't be easily manipulated. That doesn't give me any substance to underpin your position when you just simply underpin your position by saying, well, it's inherent. And it doesn't push this dialogue forward. I would say that men are probably easier to emotionally manipulate than women, or else they wouldn't be culpable for 92% of violent crimes. We could emotionally manipulate a man by making him lose a game of Fortnite. The next thing we know, there's 3 holes in his walls. All right, same thing with self-unaliving statistics, suicide. Suicide's a really bad thing, but it is true that men are significantly more likely to kill themselves than women on average. Same thing with drunk driving, gambling. And then when we look at women, they actually perform better in the fields that are less indicative of emotional outbursts, such as performing well in school. And I mean, this is all underpinned by biology. There was a study done by the American Medical Association that proved.
They're trying to vote her out because he's making a whole bunch of points and she's not trying to interrupt him right now. Which I guess is a good point to do, which is like vote her out because she's not talking. But she's letting him talk. And then what she wants to do is like, this is very obvious. I'm sorry I'm man-explaining stuff to y'all. Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Y'all want to see me talk anyways. But yeah, she's waiting for Dean to stop, and I don't think Dean's gonna stop until like he gets his full point through. By the time that happens, she's going to be
If
voted
you're
out.
operated on by a female compared to a male in the operating room at a hospital, that you're less likely to die or to experience any post-negative operative outcomes. Why? Because women are biologically designed to deal with stress and pain better than men because they have thicker dendrites in their brain. So ultimately, the science...
Why is she mad? I don't get that. Like, if I was in a room, right? 20 men in a room, one woman, we were all debating, right? And she was actively like talking about how men bring up society and help out society and how we're underlooked and suicide rates should be down and blah, 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 stuff like that. Why would I be mad? Like, he's actively saying that women contribute in society. Like, I don't get like she's mad. She's mad because of that. I'm so confused.
That you formed.
Not at all. Men are more rational, and women.
You've been voted out by the majority, so please return to your seat. If you want to be the next debater, please get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Hi.
Hey,
What's your name?
Annette Davis Jackson.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, yes.
So let's hear it. Why do you think that men are better at leading than women?
How about I know that men lead better than women? Because women have the babies, you're emotional, but more important, I have a dad. I have a dad who is very strong, and when I see what President Trump is embodying, I say, and I know that you can roll your eyes, but you know what my grandmother used to say, you can roll your cotton balls, but you sure can't shoot them. So men are strong like Trump because
What? You can roll your cotton balls, but you sure can't shoot them? Can we look up where that comes from? Hold up. Let's see. You can roll your cotton balls, but you can't shoot. Because if it's where I think it's coming from, that is very concerning. Oh my god, I can't type. The viral expression blends from 2004 dodgeball quote about bold strategies. I don't think. Wait, what? What'd she say? You know what? It's fine. I'll look it up and I'll find it. I'll find it in editing. It's fine.
first 100 days, what did he do? he started writing executive orders.
Yeah.
He started writing executive orders day after day after day after day after day after day. Women would probably say, hey, ooh, let me take a break. That's why.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, listen, clearly I disagree with you about Trump. But that's actually not relevant to my counter argument. I'll tell you why. Because even if Trump was a good leader, that doesn't mean that therefore men are better at leading than women on average. Like, for instance, in the same way that you could give an anecdote of a man that you think is good at leading to justify the claim that men are better at leading than women, well, I could just give an anecdote of the opposite. Hitler was a man, he was a terrible leader, therefore men are worse at leading than women, all right? But clearly that's not how it works, because we cannot attempt to allow an anecdote of what we think about one individual man to then exist as a portrait for a generalization about all men.
Why did you have to say Hitler?
Because he's obviously a bad leader that's a man?
Yeah, and
do you agree?
The president of the United States, which is the commander-in-chief, Donald.
See, that's what I'm talking about. He needs to dumb it down and go as, I don't want to say as slow as possible because they can be uninterrupted, but he needs to make sure that they understand the point, because the only thing that she heard was Hitler. That's all she heard. She didn't hear anything else. She didn't hear how even though a man is could be portrayed as a great leader, the projection of a man in that type of stature and that type of leadership could show that he's a bad leader, even though he's a guy. And it's kind of like like you said, with an antidote. I think it's an antidote. Yeah, an antidote where even though they are portrayed as a good leader and people think that they're a good leader, they can be a terrible leader, even though they're just, a guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
Great leader.
Okay.
And he's a great leader because he won a landslide.
Okay. Yeah.
And if he could run again, he would run a.
Didn't notice my mic died. Yep, it died. Okay, it's fine. I'm just going to commentate over what I was saying in the video. Right now, I'm just talking about how she's pretty much just saying nothing and kind of just like more or less saying the same things over and over and over again, trying to bash her point through, even though there's no point for her to kind of say. That's pretty much what I was saying this whole time. There's nothing really else to say about it, but that. It was kind of weird that she brought up like cotton picking.
Yeah. Well, guess what? He's not. He's a terrible president. His policy sucks. How about this? What's your favorite Trump policy? I mean, a bill passed through Congress, then signed into law.
I'm a former college coach, and not having men in women's sports.
I'm sorry, what bill was that?
Oh, no.
Well, I'm sorry, what bill was that? I asked you a very specific question.
We got to stop there that you've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Okay.
All right. If you want to debate this claim, please get to the center in 3, 2, 1.
And here's an ad. Basically, I was just talking about how they wanted to vote her out just because she wasn't really saying anything. Like I said before, she didn't really say much. All she really said was the same statement and just kept trying to repeat it, thinking that, Dean Withers would kind of listen, but that wasn't working. So everyone decided to just vote her out. Later on in the video, you're going to see me get more emotional because, the points that come up are going to be so bad.
Think I
so
remember you.
sit back, relax, and just, enjoy the show because it's going to be crazy.
Tell us why you think men are better at leading than women. It's worth me, reminding you and maybe everybody else in the room that so far, a lot of the people who've come up and sat in that chair have really missed the mark. Like that last lady. She told me that men are better at leading than women because she likes Trump. Okay, let's hear in general why men are better at leading than women.
Well, this is why I think you're going to be surprised. I actually agree with you.
And why are you in the chair?
And I respectfully disagree with some of them. Well, I'm just saying some of the points that they were bringing up about a woman being pregnant and because somebody can carry a baby that they're not fit to lead.
Oh,
I mean, it's the same argument where we say men go to work and come home and the woman stays and handles the household and the children. So is that not a powerful position? And I also have to, I'm respectful.
This is the last thought before I realized that my mic died. And I was pretty much just talking about how she just agreed with him. She agreed with him. She agreed that women can be powerful leaders or more powerful leaders than men. And as she was just saying the same thing over and over again. So there's no reason for her to be in that hot seat. And you'll see what happens in the video and how they talk about the same thing I'm just talking about. But yeah, she just agreed with him. But I did say that might have been her motive, is to kind of get rid of everyone else's arguments, saying that their arguments are bad, to uplift hers, to say that her argument was good and that her ideas were good, but theirs were bad, which makes hers immediately better than everyone else's. So that's one of the points I brought up. I feel like you'll kind of see what I'm talking about.
And I want you to give me an example, if you can tell me hypothetically of a woman that you think would be a better leader than Trump right now.
So just to clarify, you don't think men are better at leading than women?
No, Dean, because
Perfect.
if I'm in,
I'm really happy. I'm really happy that you don't think that.
I just told you, I agree with you, right?
I want you and everybody else in the room to obviously not think that men are better at leading than women. But unfortunately, the nature of this surrounded episode is where we have disagreeers in the hot seat.
Yes, so I'm asking
I'm happy you're not, though.
So if we're walking down a dark alley, let's say we're on Figueroa or something, I would be the person having to protect you. I mean, everybody's built differently. I feel like I would have to be protecting you. I'm taller. I'm sure I weigh more than you.
But my mic turned off. It'll be fine. It's fine. I'll probably like voice over it. Anyways, that's besides the point. So what she's saying is that her debate would be longer right now. She's leading up to a point where it'd be like, oh, we'd swap roles. Like women would be in men's field, is what she's saying. Like it would be impossible for women to be in men's field because then they'd have to.
I mean, you can take as many classes as you want.
Wow. Yeah.
But it's true, Dean.
Listen.
Men and women are.
I'm not going to disrespect.
Realized that my mic was dying. That's why I kept turning off. Oh my god.
Your ego the same way you're attempting to insult me, and that's fine.
Well, no,
See, I'll
it's
be the bigger person here.
No,
that's the difference between the left and the right.
It's a size comparison. So it depends on where this conversation is going. If you're looking at body
that's
type,
funny, though.
I'm sorry, there are women that are larger
than men. Can you guys
men.
vote her out because she doesn't think that men are better at leading than women?
Tracy, it does sound like you agree on this prompt. So we're gonna have you return to your seat and bring in a disagreeer.
Okay.
All right, if you disagree with this claim and you want to be the next debater, please get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Hi.
Hello.
Your name's Julia?
Julia Kate. So I want to ask you, inherent in your statement that men are not better leaders than women.
Yeah.
There's the sense that you believe men and women are different, correct?
I think that there's obviously distinctions between men and women, or else we wouldn't have two different words to refer to two different groups.
So what are some of the distinctions?
Well, I mean, there's distinctions in the sense of cultural and social attitudes and behaviors. There's going to be that are, of course, innate to men and women because
so
I don't think that prescriptive.
I
don't think that prescriptive gender norms exist. Now, like from your perspective, that we were to define the genders on the basis of sex, of course, then there's going to be sexual dimorphism and there's going to be differences present within that. Of course, like there's a plethora of differences. Listen, I'm not denying that there are differences between men and women because once again, if there wasn't differences between men and women, well, then we wouldn't have two distinct groups.
Okay, so we agree on that.
My claim is
she's gonna make the point that men are stronger, so they should obviously be leaders. I swear to bejesus, if she makes that point, I will end the video.
I don't think that any of the differences that exist between men and women would amount to being relevant to justify the claim that men are better at leading than women.
Do you think women are better at leading than men?
No, I actually think that gender is completely irrelevant to the prospect
is what you're saying.
Of if somebody is better at leading than the other person. I ultimately think that there's going to be no determinative ability, regardless if we're making the claim that men are better at leading than women or women are better at leading than men, to ever make that prescriptive claim.
So what I'm hearing is that men and women are essentially interchangeable in your mind.
Well, in my mind, once again, I just don't believe in the prescriptive gender norms. And I think that ultimately one's gender is irrelevant to their leadership capabilities.
I'm telling y'all, they can't follow what he's saying. That's why. He needs to dumb it down.
Make men better at leading than women.
Yes, we can go back to the hunter and gatherers when men were the ones going out to hunt and women were the ones staying with the children and gathering fruits and nuts. Men are the people that go towards risk, that go towards provision, naturally. Why is it that in today's, even our influencer community, we have more women that are drawn towards beauty, makeup, things like family, schooling, and men are more drawn towards traditionally masculine things? It's innate in every culture that you see this trend. We are hormonally different. That's been mentioned throughout this place. You as a man do not know what it's like to have a cycle, to have a period, to have your hormones go up and down.
Yeah.
That is insanely significant for a woman's ability to lead. And women will complain about being scared to walk on the streets at night, and yet they'll elect the same politicians that release the criminals on the street.
Do you think that women should lose the right to vote?
I think that I'm not talking about that today.
You just got to get a quick yes or no, then go back to the
I think
topic.
that we need strong alpha males like Donald J. Trump, Spencer Pratt, and our loved Charlie Kirk, who will have secure borders, who will not let criminals
Did you
on the
just
street.
unironically say strong
said
alpha males?
Strong alpha males, yeah.
Bro, get a grip. Stand up.
Alpha
You don't get a
males.
grip. You're a man. You want to
Donald
mansplain
J.
to me?
Trump,
Well, I
Charlie
mean,
Kirk,
actually, you just said
and-
that men are better at leading than women,
I
so you
do.
should listen to every word that
I
comes out of my
am
mouth per
listening.
your perspective, right?
Mhm.
So if you think that men are the strong alpha males and women are the emotional followers, why
I
won't you
think-
follow my lead and listen to what I have to say?
First off,
Because
sir,
you don't believe what
that
you
is
say.
a straw man. I believe that male and female are created equal in the image of God. We each have the same dignity and the same value. We have the same brain, the same rationality, but we have different and distinct roles.
Okay.
Why is it that women can get pregnant? Only females can get pregnant.
Well, of course, that would boil down to the
Biology.
physical biology.
Physical biology.
Because
and
that
isn't
of
that
the.
innate that women are more geared towards child rearing and child raising than men are?
So once again, the way that we started this conversation was by me agreeing that there are going to be differences between men and women. You
Exactly,
just simply
so men
Could
are
I
better
finish?
leaders.
I would love if I could finish. You can't say because there's differences between two things that thereby innately one of the two things is going to be better at leading than the other. Like, I think that's ridiculous. Listen, once again, my claim is that the differences that do exist between men and women ultimately don't amount to justifying the claim that men are better at leading than women. And let me respond because you made a lot of claims.
On and on.
I think it's been the opposite.
Okay.
To respond to your claims,
Thank
you
you,
said
sir.
that there's a difference in the hormonal balances of men and women that make women more emotional. Well, I mean, I already went over this with.
It's not even just more emotional. It's that our bodies are not equipped to handle the same levels of cortisol as men. We
They're
need
actually
more
more
care.
equipped.
Look at Donald Trump. The
They're
man
more
literally
equipped.
lives off of Diet Coke and McDonald's.
Okay.
We could not do that.
Okay. Listen. Actually, women are more equipped than men to deal with stress. It is proven by
That's
the science.
actually not true.
No, I'll tell you. You could look this up. Anybody at home could look this up. Women have thicker dendrites in their brain, and study after study after study has concluded time and time again.
Existing human studies show that pregnancy and childbirth are associated with the complex neuroplastic changes, but there is no robust evidence that childbirth causes a global increase in thickness of density that confers unformidable. I am terrible at reading. Superior stress resilience in women compared with men. Stress, reactivity, and coping capacity vary widely with both sexes and are shaped by hormonal status, environment, mental health history, and social context, rather than single structural brain change linked to birth.
This gives women the ability to better manage their stress than men. And you actually brought this up. You brought up childbirth. The reason why women have thicker dendrites in their brain, giving
We
them
are
a
made to
greater
go through
navigation
physical
ability,
pain for
giving
our
them a greater
children.
giving them a greater ability to deal with their pain and stress, is because of childbirth. Okay?
Yes, because
and that's
childbirth
exactly why
is a
women can
big
deal with their
thing.
stress better than men. So your claim that the opposite is true is wrong. And plus, once again, when we look in society, how men deal with stress compared to how women deal with stress, well, when a man gets mad, he commits a violent crime, he kills his wife, he kidnaps his children, he sets his house ablaze. And this is why men are significantly more likely to commit every single crime on the books,
We need
including
strong
crimes
men.
that do not have a necessity for any use of physical strength, such as arson, cyberbullying,
If you think
or,
women are
or
such good
terroristic
leaders, why won't you
threats.
let me speak?
Well, I'll happily let you speak in response to the things that I've said, as long as you're able to stay on
I
topic
am
and
able to
respond to
stay
the
on
meat on the
topic
bone.
because I'm a woman and I have a brain. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, I guess women are better at leading than men.
No, we're not. We're good
Oh,
in
okay,
our
okay, well,
certain
then
roles.
you
We
don't
have
have a
our
brain.
strengths and our values. We're good at raising children. We're very smart and adaptable. But men are the people that need to be out there fighting crime for us, protecting us, so that we feel safe and we can keep our children safe. Why do you think that just historically, more men are CEOs, more men are presidents, senators, whatever?
Because of the patriarchy. What is she talking about? What is bro? I can't do it. I cannot do it. I can't do it. What is he talking about? She said.
Well, when a man gets mad, he commits
Women are such good leaders. Why won't you let me speak?
Well, I'll happily let you speak in response to the things that I've said, as long as you're able to stay on
I
topic
am
and
able to
respond
stay
to
on
the meat on the
topic
bone.
because I'm a woman and I have a brain. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, I guess women are better at leading than men.
No, we're not. We're good in
okay.
our certain roles. We have our strengths and our values. We're good at raising children. We're very smart and adaptable. But men are the people that need to be out there fighting crime for us, protecting us, so that we feel safe and we can keep our children safe. Why do you think that just historically, more men are CEOs, more men are presidents, senators, whatever kind of leadership role you want to talk about? That is
because of the patriarchy, okay? And that stems from women being put down and stuck in homes, not being able to work, okay? Because they're quote unquote weak. That's why there's such an uproar with oh my God, putting women in more male dominated roles. President, I think it was the first woman to be an astronaut, I think very recently, to be honest. No. First black person to be an astronaut. I'm sorry. No, fact check me, editor me, fact check me. There's something huge with that. But that's besides the point. But putting women in more powerful, dominated roles, and that's why it was such a big deal that we almost had 2 presidents that were going to be women in presidential roles because we've never seen it before. And it'd be a huge step for women. That's why. It's not because of men are stronger, blah, blah, blah. It's because men didn't want women to be in that same equal leveling as men. It's because of the patriarchy, because men wanted to be higher than women. Okay? Oh my.
It's not because of white supremacy, colonization, or some kind of legal limit. It's because men are drawn to those roles. Today, women.
No, men are not drawn to those roles. Men are only drawn, well, you know what? Some men, okay? Some men are not drawn to those roles, and some men are only really looking for power and money. And that's why the patriarchy exists, okay? Because people want power and money. It's not leadership roles, it's power and money. That's why Trump is in office right now, because power and money. I can guarantee you, you can go to any CEO right now, ask him for $1 million because if he gives you $1 million, that your whole bloodline would survive, like forever, ongoing. And all he needs to do is $1 million. He's a $1 billion CEO. He would not give you a cent. Power and money. Okay?
Have the same exact rights as men, and still a lot of them choose to stay at home or feel that they can't stay at home because of societal pressures.
Okay, well, I think that you said it there at the end. Societal pressures. Societal pressures are the reason why I think that we've seen more men in positions of power, more men in leadership fields, and more men's calling the shot. But if you're the position that underpins your claim here would be that if we see an overrepresentation of men in a field in comparison to women, that men are then by definition better performing in that field. So in the same way you're claiming that because of a vast majority of leaders are men, therefore women are worse at leading, would you also claim that men are better at surgery than women because 85% of surgeons are men and 15% of surgeons are women? I just want to direct yes or no to my question so then I can follow this up with a dialogue.
Become surgeons because it's a more masculine thing. It takes more masculine traits.
Whoa. Whoa. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. As a doctor, what are you doing? I want you to answer. Look at me in your screen, in your phone, wherever you're watching this. What are you doing as a doctor? Exactly. Taking care of patients, right? Doing something along the lines of making someone feel better. If her argument is that women are supposed to be very emotional and very caretaking, where do you think that fits? As a doctor, as a nurse, okay? Being a doctor or a nurse, being a neurosurgeon, taking care of a patient. Very patient, okay? Very caring, very nurturing, very gentle as a neurosurgeon. I don't see why she didn't make that argument because gosh. And I'm not saying that men can't be doctors. I'm more of saying that, like, for her to be like, only men can be doctors. No, women.
I said yes, but I want to ask you, do you agree that men are more oppressed today than women? Men are told that they're toxic for being masculine. The only laws that prevent any gender from getting a role.
I need to respond.
We have laws in favor of women getting leadership roles. We're taking opportunities away from men. You are oppressed more than me.
This chick is crazy. Okay, listen.
I'm sorry, D, but I just say this. A white, straight man is more oppressed than a white woman.
I think that you're crazy because you just said that I'm more oppressed than you, while also claiming that I'm a better leader than you after making the argument that disproportionately men have been in positions of leadership throughout history when leadership is what grants power. But anyways, insanity. Listen, I asked you a question. I said, do you think that men are better at surgery than women because 85% of surgeons are men and 15% of surgeons are women? The reason why I asked this question is because you made the claim that men are better at leading than women because a vast majority of leaders have been men. You said, yes, Dean, because a vast majority of surgeons are men, therefore men are better. The science says, no, men are actually worse at surgery. So the American Medical Association did a study in conjunction with the Journal of the American Medical Association. They did this study on 1.4 million patients over 6 continents in 14 years. And what they determined consistently is that when we account for every single confounding variable that could possibly exist, every single time, men are significantly more likely to kill a patient on the operating table or to give them negative postoperative outcomes in comparison to women. It is one of the most well-accredited studies ever conducted in human history that has reasonably concluded that women are better at surgery than men, even though they account for a minority of surgeons. And this is exactly what debunks your claim that if a field is overrepresented by men, that therefore men are better at performing in it.
Of our natural desires and what men and women are naturally drawn to.
But women are better at surgery, even though they account for a minority of surgeons. That completely debunks your argument.
Sure, that could be a thing, but I'm saying
So
that naturally men are drawn towards roles of risk and provision. That's because of innate biological characteristics.
But women are better at
and
surgery.
I said that you're oppressed because of society telling you that you need to be a beta woke man. You are not like oppressed as a leader. Like instinctually, you want to lead.
We want to point out that woke is not a bad thing. Woke is to be a more of a woke was turned into a bad word, quote unquote, by Republicans to make it more of a triggering and derogatory word against liberals and Democrats. Woke originally started, and I could be wrong, originally started as more of a curiosity and a looking for information type of word. There's more history behind it, and I believe it may have stemmed from early African Americans that started it during civil marches, stuff like that. But y'all can fact check me. Please take out with a grain of salt. I'm pretty sure that's where it came from. And the more of a curiosity and knowledge, and it's a word that means that you more want to seek knowledge and kind of look at everything for different sides. But unfortunately, it was turned into this word that Republicans and more of MAGA has turned into like kind of like you're a sissy, and that's not what the word means, and it sucks that people are using it that way.
You want to teach me. That's because of your nature, and I appreciate that very much. But I disagree with your claims.
Okay, well, I mean, you have to concede here that your argument that men are better at leading than women because more men are leaders than women is false. And the reason
Okay, we gotta stop there. We're out of time, so please return.
I'm gonna end it there because not only are we 38 minutes into this whole video, but I have an interview in a little bit. I'm gonna tell y'all later, but I do have an interview in a little bit. I have to get ready. Also, I am like overstimulated right now. I'm overstimulated. I'm stressed, and I just want to take a whole day. Oh my god, I just spit. Take a whole day to like breathe, relax, and just like I don't know how Dean can sit there for. I think this whole video is like an hour, but I will come back to it. So please subscribe, please share. If y'all want to see more videos, comment down below. I need you to like, comment, and watch this whole way through, so then I can make more videos. And I know that y'all like these videos. And let me know if there's anything I need to fix. Because I know I was pausing a lot, so let me know if y'all don't mind it. If y'all do mind it, just let me know. Let me know what you're thinking now. Okay, I will see y'all later. It's just there out. And if you're new, welcome to the channel.